Love this idea, it's a guy trying to put his life back together, and he just gets furious and rants and writes letters to love, time, and death, and then love, time, and death respond. So it's a really that beautiful Christmas flavor was just a little touch outside of reality. So you get to deal with real subjects and real topics and real loss, but because it touches just that New York Christmas just a little bit outside of the, how excruciating it would be if you dealt with it, straight hard, rated R, loss, So I just love going into that realm of the mystical, to be able to take a good look at real human issues.
So you talk about real. Mm-hmm. I felt it was the most real I had seen you be.
Really?
Yeah, like I felt there was no filter there.
Yeah.
And I wondered, for somebody who could choose to do anything, was there something special that drove you to this part?
Yeah, when I first read it, when I first read it, every once in a while you read a screenplay, and the most important thing in a movie, well, I guess the two most important things that I look for is, one is the universally relatable concept, right? So just at its core, when you first say it, when you say one line about it, can you connect to people? And one of the best ones I've ever had, like something with like I Am Legend, the last man on earth. Yeah. Security, keep an eye on this section right here. But it's like when you just have that one thing, and with this it was a little bit heavier, but it was a guy trying to put his life back together after an extreme loss. Right, so people can relate to that. That's an extremely relatable idea. And then I flip to the last 10 pages and the ending. It's like, this is a movie that has lots of twists and turns, but then even within the last 10 pages, there's still another surprise. When you can send people out of a movie theater with another surprise, and historically, there's been times I've sent people out of the movie theater, and the surprise in the last 10 minutes is that the movie wasn't good, right? So you want to avoid that surprise. You want to avoid that one. But with this one, it had such an interesting turn in the end of it. It was one of the most fun screenplays I've ever read. I enjoy connecting with people and ideas, and I have a mission statement. So every year for probably the past 10 years, I've worked out a mission statement for myself. And for the last few years, the mission statement has stayed the same, and it's been improve lives, right? So when I go into something, I'm looking for how the quality of this piece could potentially improve lives. But it's all along the way. It's when you make the movie and how you're interacting with people in the process, and the concept of improving lives runs through the center of everything I do. And then I realized that the way to improve lives is to continually improve yourself, right? So with that, every morning when I get out of the bed, I haven't fixed everything in the world yet, so there's always something to do. And in this film, I read an interesting quote from the Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha. He said that good people have to get out of the bed every day and try to empty the ocean with a ladle, right? And I thought that was, I knew that was profound, and I paused for a second and I said, all right, what the hell is a ladle, right? Right, so then, I touched it on my iPad, it's ladle. Oh, it's like a big spoon, okay. It's like a soup spoon, yeah, it's like a soup spoon. I was like, why you use a soup spoon? So trying to empty the ocean with a soup spoon, as the mentality of how you wake up every day to try to do good in the world. So for me, I'm I'm really driven by continually trying to elevate my mind and elevate my spirit and care for my body, and to be able to love as many people as effectively as possible with this mystery of life that I've been given. So, well, what happened with me with this film? So I accepted the film, and I was really excited to take this, and I loved the idea, and I was reading it, and I gotten probably 2 weeks into my preparation for the film, and my father was diagnosed with cancer, and I was like, first it stunned me, and then it was the magical work of the universe. I could not believe that this was the film I was working on, and I was, forced to face, my father's mortality. So it was rough for about a week, and I got it together, and I decided that we would use the process of the character who was suffering a loss, and I would share my preparation with my father. And so we just started talking about love, time, and death. And it was some of the most open and powerful conversations that we'd ever had. And they gave him 6 weeks, and he lived for 4 months. So about 3 months into the 6 weeks, I go to see him one day, and he said, "Man, this shit is embarrassing." And I said, "What, Dad?" He said, "Man, you tell everybody you gonna be dead in 6 weeks. 3 months later, you still hanging around."
Miss that, Dad.
Yeah, I know, right? But it was so beautiful, and we got to a place that we were talking open and comedically, and really, I think I was able to embody the ideas of the loss and also the redemptive quality of the pain. The loss is bound to joy. Like pain and suffering are bound to joy. The being able to survive something is actually a big part of being able to find that next wave of joy. You appreciate smaller things, right? Like, it was so magnificent for me. My father died on November 7th. But it was so powerful for me to be cleansed of box office. Like, I don't need the box office to be huge on this film. I don't need to win any awards. I don't care. It was the film that I worked on that I was actually able to comfortably and beautifully say goodbye to my father. And I hope that this film embodies a bit of that, so other people who are experiencing things like that will be able to use it in that way, and it can potentially be helpful and help someone else. So it was powerful to be cleansed of the foolishness of the game of numbers and awards and all of that type of stuff, to actually be able to create a piece of art that legitimately I just want people to see and hope it can be helpful and transformative in their lives.